Hey guys, Shao and Spanky coming at you with another new video. I say another like I came out with one recently. It's been 2 weeks, guys. I apologize. More or less what happened was I recorded a JJK video last week, forgot to hit record. So tried to recreate the review, couldn't bring the same energy. Sadly, we were, and so I just scrapped it. It was a break this week, so I didn't come out with a review this week. It's whatever. But there was One Piece this week. We're finally getting near the end of the Wano arc. Cannot wait to see what's coming next. We just got an announcement today that the final saga is actually coming up next. We don't know what that will be or what it's going to be called, but something tells me it's going to be pretty crazy. Anyways, though, inspired by this One Piece thing, still have not came out with my Straw Hat ranking video. I've been meaning to redo that for the longest time, but I do have a video about epithets today. I'm going to be talking about what they are in the context of the One Piece world and why they're important. And then we're going to be going over my top 10 epithets with a few honorable mentions along the way. So starting off with this whole deal, an epithet, it's more or less a name that you want to be known by. It's your title. It's meant to enhance and bolster your legend. It's kind of like if you were to sum up yourself in a few words that you could, this would be it. Do not confuse it with an alias. An alias is something that you would go by alternatively to try to hide your identity. There's a character on this list that I wanted to use what I thought was an epithet of theirs, but it's actually an alias that they went by for a short time. We'll talk about that when I get to that character. All these epithets are ones I pulled off of the wiki. I used the official translations. So, before we get into the list, we got to talk about why they're important in One Piece. Almost forgot that. With a world as big as One Piece, and I like to think One Piece has the biggest fictional world. It's probably up there with Game of Thrones. I'm not sure which is bigger, but they could contend with each other for sure. When you have a world that big, obviously we just follow the Straw Hats. God forbid we saw every single thing that we know that happens. So since Oda can't show us everything, it's a situation where he has to tell us with words rather than actions, which usually you look at that and be like, okay, that's a terrible thing. You know what? Not terrible, but it's like actions are better than words, which in this case they are. But when there's so much action going on, you got to use words sometimes. And that kind of plays into the whole news coup system, like after every arc, we'll get our post-arc little deal where the news coups come in. We get all the news. We get like huge info dumps. We get the bounties, all that stuff. But with that, just about every character in the show has an epithet. And that's always a thing where like when, you mention them or when someone talks about them, they'll be referred to as this or it'll be mentioned in their name. And it's, it's something. And I'll explain further how that ties in as we go over the list. But before we get to the actual list, we got to go over the honorable mentions. Our first honorable mention, this would have been number 1 on the list if it was the official translation, but Kaido, the strongest among all living beings. His official translated version of this is I think it's like the strongest being alive or the strongest creature alive, but the strongest among all living beings, that just carries a certain weight to it. Like if you're telling me I gotta fight the strongest creature, okay, I'm picturing, a giant lizard, dragon type deal, whatever. But you tell me I'm fighting the strongest amongst all living beings? It's a wrap. I'm running for the hills. I'm imagining like if you guys have played Shadow of the Colossus, I'm picturing like the final Colossus in that game. The strongest amongst all living beings. But not official. We can't use it. Kaido's not on the list anyways. Don't get your hopes up. Kaido the Beasts, it's alright, but it's kind of whack. Next honorable mention, we have Jinbei, First Son of the Sea. The official version of this is Knight of the Sea Jinbei, which is still pretty cool. Knight, a very honorable thing, and that is what he is. But First Son of the Sea, it's just there's something about that. It's almost like if I were to describe Jinbei in it's like a phrase. It's like he's a student of the game. He just he commands so much respect for everything he's been through, and he's paid his dues, and he's risen up, and now he's he's not a Yonko, and he's not even near that Yonko strength, but he commands about as much respect as a Yonko, and you're gonna see this with another few characters on this list. But that Jinbei, top tier character. I love him. One of my favorite Straw Hats. Y'all see where he ranks when I make the actual video, though. But now that we got to go on to the list, coming in at number 10, we got da boy, God Usopp. I don't believe that I mean, I forgot if I didn't see it on the what's called the wiki, but I feel like NL/Enaru. I feel like his epithet is also God, but first off, just having the epithet God, super dope. The fact that it's on Usopp, even doper, honestly. Usopp, weakling, yeah, whatever. But, I mean, okay, now I guess you guys haven't seen the Straw Hat ranking video. Maybe I should have recorded that first. But in my Straw Hat ranking, first take, I said Usopp is a man of moments. And that's true, he's a good character. But when it comes to the action and getting down to it, he's really just, not do much, then pulls off the crazy clutch play. How many main villain schemes has Usopp, fucked up just because of his little shit? He just be doing whatever, and it doesn't matter. And he's so and Soga King too. Here's the thing. I feel like Usopp's epithet should actually be Soga King, and I feel like Soga King should be more of a part of Usopp's character, because Soga King Usopp is top tier Usopp, straight up Thriller Bark, Enies Lobby. That was Usopp at his best, hands down. Water 7. Fantastic. The Sea Train arc, if you want to count that as its own thing, Usopp at his best. But that man, God Usopp. Not much more I can say about that. Just great, little play. And it doesn't feel like he didn't earn it either. Usopp's done some crazy shit. The shot at Dressrosa, that's kind of I believe he earned the God name before that. But if he didn't, that is a play worthy of God. He single-handedly saved Luffy, he saved Law, he saved the entire city. If it wasn't for him, millions of people would have died that day. For real. Usopp saved millions of people's lives. But going on from that, number 9, we have the Pirate Empress, Boa Hancock. Pirate Empress, there's, first off, let's talk about Boa Hancock. Boa Hancock has such a beautiful personality. Look at that personality, guys. She is absolutely great. All smiles, all cheers. You can't mess up with Boa Hancock. The personality is absolutely big and beautiful. All right, guys, Boa Hancock has big breasts. Anyways, Boa Hancock, the Pirate Empress, she's in the same boat as Jinbei. You see her, she's not the, so by contrast, you have Big Mom, who's the world's strongest hag, and that's her way of being the strongest human, right? Or the strongest female. That's their way of saying that. And Boa Hancock's not the strongest. She's probably the second strongest, I'd imagine. But even beyond that, it's the same deal. She commands the respect of a Yonko. She's just everything that we know she's been through, and where she's came, what she's done for the Kuja tribe, the way she united them, joined up with the Shichibukai. Boa Hancock is a pirate empress in every sense of the word. And if you told me that the Pirate Empress was coming at me, that is an epithet that just commands respect. The Pirate Empress, that's Big Mom, world's strongest hag. So what? Pirate Empress, kneel before me, bitch. For real. Going on, we got number 8. I must preface this by saying, everyone I feel like in One Piece has that one character that they really like, but showed up maybe once. I don't mean Shanks, showing up once every 80 chapters or whatever, or every 130, whatever it is. I mean legitimately showed up in a couple panels, showed up in a couple scenes in the anime, didn't really say much, maybe had a couple lines of dialogue, and then just, went on their way. Everyone has a character like that they love. So, coming in at number 8, we have Bohemian Knight Doma. This guy is so cool to me. So let me just lay the scene, It's Marineford. Luffy's charging toward the scaffolding, trying to rescue the boy Ace. R.I.P. I said there was going to be light spoilers, but everyone knows Ace is dead. Come on, that guy got a fist through his chest. I'm going to even put it up here on the screen. Yeah, that's right, I just did it. I don't give a fuck. Anyways, so Where was I going with this? Oh yeah, Bohemian Knight Doma. So Momonga, Vice Admiral Momonga, jumps in Luffy's way. He's about to stop the boy. And Doma just hops in, blocks his sword slash. Momonga just hits. He's like, oh, Bohemian Knight Doma? Like, just, there's something, it's a cool moment. And then we get this epic shot of Bohemian Knight Doma clashing with Momonga. And what is this? It's a pleasure Momonga or something like that. But then this guy on his shoulder has a freaking monkey, right? Adorable. Look at that boy. Look at that boy. But the monkey's got a gun. He got the blicky. I mean, dude, look at him. That is killer intent in his eyes. That is evil. That is death. Listen, guys. There are only a few characters in the entire show that we've seen, like new world level characters that use guns and firearms. Because, it's One Piece. What the hell are you using a gun for, dummy? But, I mean, those people like Ben Beckman, who literally freaking held Admiral Kizaru, the man who can move at the speed of light. He held that motherfucker at gunpoint, bro. I mean, gosh dang. He not even that, but he snuck up on him and put a gun to the back of his head and said, freeze. I mean, what the heck? Then you got Izo, Mr. Dual Wheel, bop, 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 freaking showing out in Wano right now. How is Izo, man? I sure hope Izo's doing okay. I don't think we saw him after the fight. I don't think so. I'm trying to think of the last chapter, what Scabbard showed up. But Izo, beast. And this monkey is so cool, I think I got to give him his own epithet. He deserves one. The fact that Oda didn't give him one is a rare L on Oda's part. I got to say. So, in honor, we have officially number 8, Bohemian Knight Doma and his companion, Bang Bang Bobo. I mean, enough said. We're moving on to number 7. Number 7, Eustis Captain Kidd. There's just something about having the epithet Captain. Amongst all the people in the One Piece world, you have the epithet of Captain. And it's kind of weird, too, because Eustis Kidd does not give off Captain vibes. His men respect him and everything, but he just, he's kind of a hothead. But it's too cool. I mean, the captain. Oh, come on, dude. In all these situations, what I'm imagining is I'm on a pirate ship and I'm like sailing away, and then all of a sudden I'm being pursued, and the dude that's at the top of the mast is up there, and he's like, "Captain, look!" Like in that famous Sea of Thieves video. And then I'm like, wait, what is it? What is it? And then he's like, "It's Eustis, Captain Kidd." I'm like freaking out. I'm like, "The captain?" It's a rap. And that same deal with Pirate Empress. "It's the Pirate Empress." I'm like, oh, cow. And Captain Kidd, he is the captain now. And it's just cool. And I like it when people just call him Captain Kidd, because it's one of those things where when they say it like in Japanese, they say it in English, like they'll be, but it's, the Japanese voice actor saying English words. So he'll be like, "Captain Okiddo." And it just sounds cool. So there we go. 7, Eustis Captain Kidd. Moving on to 6. We have Blackleg Sanji. Before we get into Blackleg, let's talk about Sanji's alias, the superior nickname, I gotta say, between the two. I'm gonna talk about it too because it deserves to be talked about, and I'm never gonna make an alias video, so we're gonna talk about it. Sanji's alias, during the Alabasta arc, the boy went by. Just clear my throat. Get ready to say it. Mr. Prince. I love saying it like that. It just sounds cool. Anyways, though, Mr. Prince, Sanji. First off, great foreshadowing moment by Oda. Not going to say any more because, like I said, hardly any spoilers. But good foreshadowing moment. what's it called? Just it's so cool because Alabasta and like Crocodile's like a Bond villain, right? He's at the cigar, he's got the big fur coat, the gold hook. He leads this criminal organization. He's like running casinos and shit in like the One Piece equivalent of India, or like he's like in Dubai running shit, bro. I mean, he's the Bond villain. And the Bond villain caught Luffy, Zoro, and everyone. He had the Straw Hats dead to rights. And then in that moment, Sanji was Mr. Bond. That man straight up took it to Crocodile. Didn't fight him, but just the finesse at which Sanji moves, man. He's Mr. Cool, and he actually is Mr. Prince, but he's also Mr. Cool. And now we'll go into Blackleg, because Blackleg, first off, let's just talk about why he's Blackleg. It's because he wears that epic freaking suit, which is it's not lame. Like, the suit is cool. That's not what I'm saying is lame. What I'm saying is lame, but it's not really lame, is the fact that he changed the color of his suit in Wano, which I think it looks better, and especially since post-time skip Sanji, you can tell he was actually lifting. I don't know what he was doing, because, he's a kicker, but you look at that skinny boy pre-time skip, nah, man, that boy built post-time skip. But I think he looks way better in Wano, and I never think Sanji looks bad. He's got hella drip. Let's keep it real. But I don't know. I've always been a proponent of Sanji's epithet being changed to Red Leg, especially after he learned Diable Jambe, and especially now that he knows Ifrit Jambe. I think he should be White Leg. It doesn't sound as cool. I think Red Leg is whatever. But I like, White Leg Sanji's kind of a cool name. But either way, Black Leg Sanji. Usually epithets are only used when someone's referring to someone. But quite often, I feel like, probably the most often besides Luffy. And maybe I'm just, maybe Luffy and Kid. But people will just call Sanji Blackleg to his face a lot. And I like that. Like, dudes will be like, oh, it's you, Blackleg, or oh, Blackleg, stop meddling. Like, it's just cool when dudes are just like, oh, Blackleg. And then you look over and you got this suave dude smoking a cigarette wearing a black suit, and you're like, that's Blackleg. Going on to number 5, though. This one's not going to need much explaining. It's all in the name itself. We have the Surgeon of Death, Trafalgar Law. Surgeon of Death. I'll just put a couple pictures of Law up here. He's pretty cool, he's got cool abilities, he's got the room, shambles, injection shot, he's got, the K room, the R room, he's awakened, I don't know what else I can say. And he's a nice guy too. He doesn't, Surgeon of Death makes him sound like he's evil, but he's a great guy. He's just got the Op fruit, which is, by the way, the coolest anime power of all time. If we're just being straight up, Trafalgar Law he might be the coolest anime character. Like, he might have passed up Kakashi, possibly. He's just cool the way he looks. Like, I don't know. I'm just gonna, whatever. Number 5, Trafalgar Law. I just wanted to gush about him for a second. Number 4, this one I love. We have Dark King Silvers Rayleigh. First off, we know Rayleigh is a character, very nice guy. He trained Luffy, helped out the Straw Hats. He really is a carrier of Roger's will, through and through. How the hell do you get the name Dark King? Like, how the hell does someone so nice and kind get the name Dark King? And why the hell are people just revving their engines by my house? Anyways, regardless, Dark King. So you gotta wonder, what the hell did that man do? You could also say, maybe it's because Roger's the Pirate King, and so Rayleigh's the Dark King because he's in Roger's shadow, Roger's right-hand man. That's another one of his epithets, by the way, right-hand man to the Pirate King, which I do like. I do like that one a lot. It's worth mentioning it. I just like Dark King. There's something about it, because then he's the king. And he's also got Conqueror's Haki, and I really like people that have Conqueror's Haki that have, like, an epithet that makes you feel like they have Conqueror's Haki, Like, going on to number 4, honestly. Or number 3. The strongest man in the world, Edward Newgate. Edward Newgate has many epithets. He has 3, actually. I'm gonna mention all three because you got to call him by one. Who the hell calls him Edward Newgate? Whitebeard goes by Whitebeard. Obviously, he has no beard, but the official Japanese word that they use is actually Shirohige. And in Japan, they don't have a word for beard; it's facial hair. So even though it's a mustache, he's still Whitebeard. Which, I think it's even more epic that he's named Whitebeard and doesn't even have a beard, to be honest. And guys, I aspire. Listen, I think I have a good mustache, and I really do. I enjoy my mustache. And for the record, I got a pretty Top Gun Maverick, so before y'all come coming at me for that. But, God, if I had that Whitebeard mustache, oh, I'd be the strongest man in the world. Anyways, though, besides strongest man in the world, we also have the man closest to One Piece, which Whitebeard was. When you look at all three of his nicknames or his epithets, they really encapsulate what kind of a man he was and what kind of life he lived. The strongest man in the world, which he truly was. If it wasn't for Roger, Whitebeard would be the strongest man of all. He would be known as the king of pirates. He's just an absolute beast. An animal. Another thing that he's been called, I'm not sure if it's official or unofficial, but it wasn't an epithet, so I didn't use it, was the man who could destroy the world, which again, he could. He's a man he could destroy the world if he wanted to. He's a beast. He's a monster. What more can I say? Whatever. Strongest man in the world, Edward Newgate, champ, whatever. On to number 2, though. We have Pirate Hunter, Roronoa Zoro. Pirate Hunter is a pretty cool name. It's really cool. Definitely would be top 10 worthy. Just because we live, not we. One Piece is a world of pirates. Anyone who's a pirate hunter and is known as the pirate hunter, probably a badass. But the fact that Zoro is a pirate and he's known as the pirate hunter, and that's like, again, going back to my little pirate fantasy, my little guy on the mast, he's like, "Captain, look!" And then I'm like, "What is it?" He's like, "It's the pirate hunter!" And then you just see Zoro standing on the front of his ship, sword in mouth, swords in hand, charging up his hockey, and you're just like, "Oh God, what did I do wrong today?" You were a pirate, that's what you did wrong today, because Zoro's going hunt you. He going hunt you. He obviously got that epithet because he was a bounty hunter before he was a pirate. So, the origin of it is not quite that. Like, he's a pirate who's so good at hunting pirates. But that legacy definitely carries over. Geez, dude, this man is a hunter, like, straight up. Colin Farrell. That's a weird song, by the way. You guys heard that song, Hunter by Pharrell? That's a weird song. It's I don't know, weird, just what it's about. All right, number 1. Drum roll, please. We have the Heavenly Demon, Don Quixote Doflamingo. There's so many layers to unpack with why this one's number 1. And I think it's number 1 by a wide margin. I'm being straight up. First off, you just have his background with Heavenly. First off, Heavenly Demon sounds cool as hell. Let's be straight up. But then you have his background. And you think about like the actual tangible reasons why he got, the name Heavenly Demon. He was a celestial dragon, lived up in Marie-Joie, quote unquote, it would be heaven in this case. And it's so weird because they say Heavenly Demon like all the celestial dragons aren't demons. But Doflamingo descended from heaven and just started being a demon on the normal people. Doflamingo is a terrible person. Doflamingo would slit the throats of 1 billion people to control the world and do what he wants. This is a man who conquers hockey. You really have to have top tier ambition. Like 1 in a million people have conquerors hockey. And Doflamingo has it. But you look at other characters with conquerors hockey. Luffy wants to be the pirate king. Zoro wants to be the strongest swordsman alive. Edward Newgate is just the strongest man alive. Who else? Boa Hancock is the pirate empress. Of course she's going to have conquerors hockey. Kaido and Big Mom, they're Yonko, who are literally some of the strongest beings known in existence. Of course they're going to have conquerors hockey. Doflamingo's some man with a $600 million bounty, or berry bounty, whose ambition to destroy and rule over the world is so great that it gave him Conqueror's Haki. Um, I'm assuming Blackbeard's gonna have Conqueror's Haki, so whatever. It's probably gonna be the same deal where he wants to destroy the world. I'm guessing Rox D. Zebek had Conqueror's Haki, so and that's another one whose ambition might have been to destroy the world. But Doflamingo, I mean, oh, he's evil to the core. And then you just got the way he acts, right? Where he, like I said, deep down, he's this evil, terrible, malicious, dirty, despicable, human trafficking, drug dealing, supplying weapons to pirates and evil militaries all over the world. Like, this guy is literally the linchpin of the criminal underworld of the One Piece world. And on the surface, he's this suave, super aloof, light, doesn't have a care in the world. He just always has this air to him that he's always in control. He's never not in control. He's always got the upper hand. You always think he's got an ace up his sleeve, even when he doesn't. And he usually does. Don't get me wrong. And you see when like that ace up his sleeve, in his fight with Luffy, when he was challenged and that ace up his sleeve was taken away, and like Luffy got the upper hand in the fight, like legitimately for the first time, and Doflamingo actually felt threatened, he turned into a freaking psychopath. He's literally just wandering through the streets of Dressrosa, slaughtering whoever was getting in his way. Like, he's just sitting there going, Luffy, just freaking slice, destroying people. I mean, is a demon. Bonus points because of him. I'm not sure if he gave Usopp the name, but he technically did. Because of him, Usopp did get the name God. He's the one who gave Usopp the 5 billion or 5-star bounty. I'm pretty sure he's the one who put the epithet God by his name. Obviously, that was just to build up hype so Usopp would get caught, and because he's the one who knocked out Sugar. But top tier moment provided by none other than Don Quixote, Doflamingo. And I also don't think it'd be too controversial to say that he's the best One Piece villain. I mean, some people might like Eneru. I like Eneru a lot. Guys might like a Kainu, Kaido, Big, whatever. I mean, there's plenty of good One Piece villains. I'm not going to argue with you. But I think the popular favorite for best One Piece villain is probably Doflamingo. And for good reason. He's a beast for all the reasons I said behind there. String. I'm talking about Doflamingo a lot, but he's number one. He deserves to be talked about. He's got the string fruit, which literally, the fact that Oda made the string fruit, probably, like, it is legitimately one of the scariest devil fruits. Like, what he can do with it, I mean, that is such a crappy fruit. Let's just keep it right. I mean, because you see Doflamingo is awakened. I mean, he is truly a beast. He is truly a champ. But even with all, and if you just want to talk about devil fruit users, he's one of the best devil fruit users with what he can do with his fruit. And even after all that, his bounty's only 600 million. And ungiven bounties don't indicate strength. And realistically, I think his bounty would be around 1 billion. Just because of what he does. I mean, Lynch supplies Big Mom, supplies Kaido, supplies criminal enterprises all over the world. He'd be close to 1 billion. I hesitate to say 1 billion because not even Katakuri's barely over 1 billion. But I think Doflamingo should be over 1 billion. He's not stronger than Katakuri, but he's definitely stronger than Cracker. And we haven't seen Smoothie do anything, so I'm not really sure how he relates to Smoothie. I bet he could give Queen a run for his money, though. Jack, I think he'd screw Jack up as well. But, anyway, string fruit. If he wasn't the best devil fruit user ever, like not actually, but one of the best, he'd be weak as hell. I mean, come on, guys. Birdcage, top tier technique, as sick and filthy as that thing is. Okay, anyways, this is not a Don Quixote Doflamingo video. This is an epithet video, and while he has the best one, he is no more deserving of our time than everyone else. So on that note, this is Shallon Spanky. Not signing out yet. I actually have a vlog that's going to be uploaded either today or tomorrow. So watch out for that, guys. The Grilled Daddy Diaries. That's what we're going to be calling this one. So, Shao and Spanky, signing out.